outcome. Okay? When we use, there is a model we use in research, we call it structural equation modeling. When you use structural equation modeling, in other words, it's SEM, structural equation modeling. I'll give a preamble on that. Okay? When you use structural equation modeling, this independent variable is called exogenous variable. Exo means outside. It gives arrow from the outside. So exogenous. And dependent variable is also called endogenous because it receives an arrowhead. Okay? But in a normal research term, we use the terms independent variable as well as dependent variable. In some work or in some thesis or in some research elsewhere, they will not use independent variable and dependent. What do they use? They will use predictors and outcomes. So when you hear the word predictors, we are referring to what? Independent variable. So based on this, we understand these are the independent variables and this is a dependent variable. Good. Now, these ones here, if I should capture them in just as is, and I put this here like that, the whole of this is something we call research framework. This is called a research framework. This is a typical research that someone can do. It's possible that someone might have done it already. What influences happiness in Ghana? Or what makes people happy? So they do the research and find out the variables. So let's look at this. Now, if you have something like this, a research, which one is the, let me put A and B. Which one is the dependent variable and which one is the independent variable? Based on these two.
Independent variable.
A is independent.
Yes.
And B is?
Independent.
Are you sure? Very good. After you said that, you notice there's no arrow. Very good. Now, if there is no arrowhead, listen carefully. If you do this in research, to us, it's just your own drawing. It doesn't have meaning in research. This doesn't mean it. There's no meaning. Because I don't know what you mean. What does it mean by A and B? But the moment I put an arrowhead here, I'm saying that A is impacting B. A leads to B. Or if I take the arrowhead from here and I put it here, what does it mean? So in that case, which one is the independent variable?
B.
B. Very good. Therefore, the arrowhead in research is very, very important. Now, if I have an arrowhead here and an arrowhead here, what does that mean?
Both.
So how do we call it a research term? Interdependent. They have created a new term. Okay. Keep that one for yourself. But let me use mine. But it's okay. At least the understanding is there. Now, when we have two arrowheads, it's something we call correlation.
Coefficient.
You have always heard the word correlation. Yes. It means because there is co-relationship. In other words, there is a relationship between them. Like food and water. Do you agree food and water have a relationship? Anytime you eat food, you will want water. So we say food and water are correlated. And the correlation can be very strong. We have some that correlations are weak. Like between food and what?
Yogurt.
Food and yogurt. Okay, that's fine. But then let me say between food and car. When you have a car and food, correlation is there, but it's weak because you can use your car to go and get food. But the correlation is that weak. But in water and food, you know, the moment you have the food, especially if there is chili inside there is a high tendency you need water with it. Do you agree? In that case, we say there is correlation here. So anytime we have correlation, another term they use is covariance. These are research terms you always come across. covariance. When we say covariance, what does it mean by variance? Variance, I remember in our engineering class when we asked our lecturer the meaning of variance. He said that variance is the variability of various variables in a variogram. And that's what it is. It's true. That's exactly what variance is. Variability of various variables in a variogram. So what's the variogram? Variogram is like this. It's a graph. In that graph, if we have, for instance, a gold particle here, like where we are standing, all these boxes here are gold particles or gold ore. So from where I am, and let's say from where Hubert is sitting, if there is another one there, we look at the difference between this, where you are and where I am. We will determine how much do we have. If the variance are close enough, it means there are many of them around, so that the distance between them is very small. Do you agree? So that how they vary, we say the variance is low or small. If variance is small, it means there are many of them. But if the variance is wide, like one is here, one is here, one in Amasamai here, one in Koforubia, one in Kumasi, what does that mean? It means it's a low grade. In other words, it means there is no much of it, then condensed in a particular area. So that's variance. So when we say covariance, it means this and that, the relationship with them, how they vary from each other. Do they vary as in a wide variance, or the variance is low, and we call it covariance, because they vary towards each other. Another thing we say correlation. Correlation, they are related. Now in correlation, when two variables are related, they can be positively related or negatively related. For example, between happiness and stress, do you know that any human being at any point in time, even as we are here, we have stress and we have happiness at the same time. But what happens is that they are inversely proportional. Anytime that your happiness is high, your stress level is low. The moment your stress level goes high, your happiness is low. So this class now, because it's normal class, happiness is here, stress is there. During the exam, I hope that it won't be like this. At least it will be flat. 50-50, which I don't think it will be so, but let's hope so. Right? So you see, it's going to be like that. So we say that between happiness and stress there's a covariance, yes, but in terms of correlation, they are negatively related or they are inversely related. Like between what? Interest rates and GDP. You agree? In economics. No. In fiscal and monetary policies in economics, we know that anytime they said that anytime there is inflation in the nation, they have to increase interest rates to pull back money into the central bank. And anytime there is so much no money in the system, they reduce interest rate in the central bank so that people will borrow. So money will go back into the society. So there's another, we call it between that interest rates and the policies, the fiscal policies, there is inverse relationship all the time. So let's come back here. So if I say this A and B here are having two arrows, it means they are correlated. Now what if I make it this way? All right, it means it's independent, am I right? Now when you do it one IV impacting one dependent variable, this is what we call single linear regression. Why single? Single because there's one independent variable and one dependent variable. For example, assuming I say money causes happiness, and I don't include all these ones. Imagine that I delete all these ones, and I said money impacts. This is an impact or influences happiness. If I make it that way, it's called single linear regression. But we know very well in life, it's not only money that can impact happiness. Right? We captured 4 here. Even the 4 we captured is not this 4. In reality, there are many. Good. Now, if I say, since only money cannot impact happiness, I add more IVs. and one dependent variable. Now, one or more than two or more IVs, independent variables, and one dependent variable is what we call multiple linear regression. Is it clear? Should I repeat?
Yes, take it from the center.
Okay, I will repeat. I don't want to be talking to myself. So let me there was a Nigerian president here. That time they have a lot of coup d'etat. Anytime he sleep, he will ask his bodyguard. The moment he wakes up, because you can sleep today as a president. By the time you wake up, you're overthrown. You're no more the president. So when you wake up in the morning, very early morning, he will call his bodyguard and ask him, "Are we still in charge?" If he says yes, it means he's still the president. Then you go out happily. But if he says no, we are not in charge, quickly he goes to the airport. So I'll be asking you in class if I'm still in charge. If you tell me I'm not in charge, it means you are in charge. It means you are sleeping. So I will end the class. All right. So if I'm in charge, please tell me. So am I in charge?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Let's move back here. One IV, one DV. This is single. More than one independent variable and one dependent variable is called multiple. Is it clear?
Yes.
All are regression. So you have single regression, multiple regression. Okay. Now the word linear, we say linear because of the straight line here. Because of the straight line. We are saying that these ones here, they have a straight impact on the dependent variable. So it's called either single linear regression or multiple linear regression. The marker pen, do you have another color?
Yes.
Yes. Let me have the blue color or red color. We have to go out. Anyone has any different marker? I want to use it to indicate something. Okay. All right, so before we have that, now let's look at this. Do you know that, or will you agree with me that all these same things that cause happiness, they are the same thing that can cause stress?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
So if I put, hey, I don't hope someone's family is giving him stress. So the way the years came. So money's family, achievement, and food can also give us stress. I wish there is a different color so I can see. It's bringing it. Okay. Before it comes, just watch where I will put this. Now the same way I put this ones, I have another. This is called stress. So I have another arrow. The first arrows, let me use H1. The second one. This one H2, H3, and H4. Now let's look at the second arrows. So this is the second arrow here. Okay, and this one comes there. This comes, and that comes. So all these four can influence here happiness, and all these four can also influence stress. When we have this, in other words, when we have more than one independent variable and more than one dependent variable, we call this advanced multivariate analysis. Am I in charge?
Yes.
No, not now, not now.
No, I'm not. I'm talking to myself. This one is advanced. We call this advanced multivariate. Multivariate is the term for multiple variables. Advanced multivariate analysis. It only means we have more than one independent variable and more than one dependent variable. I want us to understand when we say dependent, independent, what does it mean? Now, for this advanced multivariate analysis, we normally do it at the PhD level. But even at the master's level, MPhil, we encourage the students to do it because it's a bit advanced. The analysis takes another form. Okay, any question on this? Do you have any question on this? Yes.
So, is there a possibility or scenario
Yes.
is there a possibility or scenario whereby the multiple IV impacts just a single TV?
Okay. Multiple IVs impact a single TV. Yeah, that's the first one we talk about. That's the multiple regression.
No, sorry, I mean.
Okay. Yeah, one IV
Yeah, the other way.
impact multiple. Yes, it's possible. It's also multiple regression. Alright, but do you understand this question? For example, we have only money influencing stress and only money influencing happiness. We can have that. It can have that. When we have that, it can be that also can be considered as multiple regression. But the analysis is going to be individual. I will first analyze money with stress and finish it before I come and do money with happiness. So we analyze it as single at each level. But when you have multiple regression, IBs, 1 DB, you analyze them all together. We're using enter method. We have different kinds of methods. We have case-wise, list-wise, enter method, and the rest. We'll take them one after that. Okay. So entry's question I hope is clear. 1 IB, more DBs. It's also possible. Okay. Any other questions? Now, if there's no question, I will go back to the original model. I hope now we understand the difference between single linear and the multiple regression and advanced multivariate. All right. Now let's look at another types of variables that we have. If I use the term, okay, I take out the stress now. So I said we have this one, that, this, and this. Good. I'm extending this model. I said that these ones here. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you very much. I said that these ones here, they influence. These 4 things influence happiness. But we know that happiness also can lead to what?
Stress.
Happiness can lead to success. Let me use the word success here. Happiness leads to success. Now when we have something like this, happiness ceases now to be the dependent variable.
Okay.
What's the dependent variable now? Success becomes the dependent variable. What then is this variable now? How do we call it? Betweener.